Hello, hi, good morning everyone. I hope you all can hear me. As I always keep saying every time I'm here after a very long time, that is my usual story looks like, but here I am on the first Sunday of 2026 and I am quite excited because Happy New Year to everyone. I know people are joining in, so I'm just going to wait for a few minutes before I start off with my talking and chatting. And before I start off, yes, wishing everyone a very, very, very happy new year. And I do hope that 2026 will be a new phase, new start, new everything for a lot of you. So that is my hope, my wishes for all of you. And yeah, before I start off, people who are joining in, but I will keep mentioning this every now and then. Please do have some pen and paper ready because, as you know, every time in my chats, I do give a lot of information out, and sometimes it may appear to be random information, but ultimately you will see that it will be helpful in some way or form. And so, yeah. So I'm just going to wait for a couple more minutes. I don't know exactly what the time is. It is, yeah, just gone 10 o'clock. And please share some of your beauty secrets, my beauty secrets. Actually, having said that, just to let you know that I am actually going to be going through 5 various things that you all can do at least over the period of this 2026 to actually bring changes rather than just doing things randomly. I thought I would pick 5 very important things, especially for the way the world is going nowadays, and to help bring changes accordingly. So yes, I will go through some of the things. But yeah, so before we start off talking about 2026 itself, what do you do to your hair and skin? Please love your hair. Oh, thank you. Thanks a lot. Yeah, probably, I know I keep telling you this every time, but probably I'll do a live chat for that some other time because that probably would help. But yes, so let us start off. And as you all know, I do tend to give out a lot of information. So please do make notes if you want to. So coming to the year of 2026, do understand that in this chat, I'm not just going to be talking about Ayurveda, but a bit of Ayurveda, Vastu, Yoga, Jyotish, that is Vedic astrology, and also the importance of numbers and numerology. So all of that put together. So it is a very kind of comprehensive chat that I'm going to be talking about many different things, especially for 2026. So talking about the year 2026 itself. So before I talk about that, remember the year 2025, the total of that comes to a 9. And I may or may not have said this in the past, but in our Vedic science, Vedic astrology, or Vedic kind of numerology, for us 2 numbers are really important. First is number 7 and the other one is number 9. And the way we look into it, we believe that number 7 is usually for men, and it really helps with men, masculine energy, and anything to do with a man. But number 9 is one that really helps either bring changes, enhance things, or anything like that, but for a woman. So remember, 7 is for a man and 9 is for a woman. So the last year, 2025, would have actually been the year for women or the feminine energy. Do understand, sometimes we need to bring that change in. So it is not always the case that everything that happens will always be good, but sometimes we need to go through that kind of upheaval to get to where we are. So number 9 is usually for women and number 7 is for men. But then now coming to this year 2026, so if you add it all together, it comes to 1. It's literally 2 plus 2 plus 6 altogether comes to number 1. And that for us, that number 1, again from the point of view of numerology, is a start of a new phase. Because when you look into numbers, you will see that yes, we've got number 0, that is single digit numbers, which is very different, but everything goes in that wave of phases of 9. So usually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then starts back on 1 again. So whenever we finish that phase of 9, we are coming back to number 1, and that number 1 is a new phase. It's literally like a new book. I won't even say a new chapter, and I've got some blank paper over here, literally like a blank page. It is something that starts a whole new journey all over again. So do understand that 2026 is that year. It is that year of starting new things, new projects, new businesses, new ventures, new ideas, new communication, new opportunities, new friendships, new relationships, new love, maybe People are kind of meeting their new, when I say new, probably their future partners. I hope that I shall also meet mine. Never know. Let's see what happens over there. But yes, so it's all about new. So that is what this particular year 2026 is. But when I say that, do understand that whatever we do in a certain phase of life or certain time is what actually helps us for the rest of the phase or life. So that means whatever you do in the year of 1 or 2026 will actually help set you up for the next, just not 9 years, but when you do things correct, it may also end up lifelong. So this first year, because the energy is so new, put anything that you want into place, your ideas. If you've got ideas, start working on them, putting in some action into those ideas so that you will start seeing changes. So this 2026 is a very, very powerful year. And of course, you may also have seen is that literally in this year, 2026, come 1st of January, your Instagram feed, your Facebook feed, your YouTube feed, everything changed because everything suddenly turned into AI. Meaning that new phase started, not just for us from the point of view of emotions, our feelings, or us as human beings, but even from the view of technology or even that energy out there, everything changed. So do make sure that in this year, whatever you are looking to do, it can be a lifelong plan, it can be a year-long plan, it can be a 5-year-long plan. Whatever it is, make sure that you start, and not just start, but start working on it. This year, 2026, is the year to make things happen. So even if it means that you need to have those meetings, those conversations, telling people how you feel, both good or bad, in whichever way, form, or whatever it is, this is the year to make everything happen. Okay, so that is about 2026 and numerology, as we say in Ayurveda or Vedic sciences. But then from there, because it is 2026, and from there taking things forward, a lot of you already know my life story. I know I'm one of those people who, without making it sound too kind of negative, but I am quite open about things. So from that point of view, yes, I did say that 2025 was the year for feminine energy or women. Yet, please do understand that for me as a woman, yes, 2025 was kind of a year, but in many different ways. I was not so much out there, be it on social media or doing things, doing courses or whatever. Yes, I did take a step back because I really needed to build myself up, not just from the point of view of business or finance, but even me, for my own self-confidence, for my own self-worth, and many other such things. So 2025 for me was a year of, if you want to call it, survival. That is what I felt. All of last year, especially for what happened in my life in 2024, taking it on to 2025. But then I tell everyone, yes, 2025 was the year of survival. But then now 2026 is going to be the year to thrive. Not just because it is the number 1 year, but even otherwise for me, I have put my focus and complete, how can I say, energy into becoming really successful. And I was talking to my son the other day and I was telling him that this year, I don't think anything else will matter as much as, of course, I've always been passionate about my work. And from that point of view, I want to make my work, my business, really successful. Someone has asked if I'm a single mom. Yes, I'm a single mom. My son is 20 years old and he goes to uni, and I try to do everything by myself, or I've been trying to for the last 6-7 years, but yeah. Okay, so 2026, that is what has been for me last year and what I'm going to be planning to do this year. But from that point of view, talking about 2026 being the year of thriving. And when my brother Utpal, I'm sure he's going to be listening to this, watching this live chat a bit later, but when he got to know about all the challenges that I had to go through during 2024 and 2025, poor thing, he got really worried for me. I know emotionally, even my sister, but I think more my brother, because brothers have that element of responsibility towards their sisters, and because I'm the younger one, he and me, we actually worked together. He really wanted to do something for me. And in 2026, now I know on the other account that we have, which is called as Kosha Connect, we have actually launched an app for Ayurvedic practitioners. Not just for Ayurvedic practitioners, even Ayurvedic therapists, but the focus is Ayurveda. And it is an app, if you want to call it, it is like a consultation app, but just not that. It is an app it's like a booking app. If you get clients for consultations, you just put all that information of that client. It is a proper consultation form. I've designed it based on the courses that I teach. So it is very in-depth. It is quite long in a way, but not that all my practitioners have to fill in all the questions, but it is all over there. Because as we know, yes, as much I do talk about writing on paper, yes, all of that is good, but as things are continuing, everything is becoming more and more digital, and everything is going more online. And rather than having said that, do remember 2026, and I'm just going back to everything based on the energies and how the energies talk. 2026 is going to be the year for Ayurveda. Not so much yoga, because yoga has exhausted itself out as a science for the way people talk about it. But the other science that you'll see that will really flourish from the point of view of Vedic sciences this year is Vastu. Vastu, as you know, is a science of spaces. So it is all about science of spaces, directions, and allocation of certain directions to certain functions and certain attributes. So if you are not into it, my suggestion is please go and look into the science of Vastu. Apply it for yourself so that 2026 also becomes one of those thriving years for yourself. And if you are a therapist or practitioner, if you want to study Vastu, then go and look into that too. But then the two sciences for this year, 2026, which of course going forward will become quite prevalent, of course, is Ayurveda. Ayurveda has been prevalent for a long time, but even more so now. And I know I'm jumping topics, but if there are any practitioners out there listening to me, understand. I don't know if you remember, approximately 7-8 years ago, when nobody used to talk, or almost 10 years ago, nobody really talked about it. But then itself, I used to tell all my students, all my clients, that the one imbalance, illness, or kind of disease that may become more and more prevalent as we go along is Alzheimer's or dementia. I've been talking about it for the last 10 years. And if you see, that is what is starting to happen now. And of course, even with the advent of AI and everything going digital, because we can't really put a lot in our brain, so our memory is also reducing or declining. So from that point of view, 2026, in this year, if you are able to focus on Ayurveda and Alzheimer's or mind or memory related things. So those are the two things in terms from the point of view of Ayurveda. But the other bit is Vastu, that is a science of spaces. So those are the two sciences I can definitely tell you will become quite prevalent in the coming year. So yeah, putting that aside, yes, the app that I was talking about is called Kosha Connect, and I have actually designed it along with my brother. So of course, he's done most of the work. All that I've done is put the intellectual side of it in terms of the IP of how to put the consultation form together, how to put the kind of Ayurvedic kind of information in there. So do go and check it out. The IG account that we have is called Kosha Connect, and after this chat I will share the IG account over there. And as a kind of incentive, we are also doing initial free accounts. So there are 5 people who register for the first 6 months. They will get the account for free. That means you don't have to pay anything per month. But then another 5 people will get the first 3 months for free. So altogether 10 people will get the account or the the app for free for the first either 3 months or 6 months. So if you're at all interested in finding out more about it, please do message me or message at Kosha Connect so that you will see what all the details are and everything can be shared with you. So yes, that is the big thing for me in 2026 that I will be focusing on. And yes, other thing also is, many people have asked me, Dr. Deepa, do you still run your academy? Yes, I do still teach and I run my academy. I know I don't talk much about it over here on my social media accounts because, as I said, last year was more about a year of survival for me. I really needed to kind of, make myself feel strong and confident to be able to go out and do things. Now I think I feel so. But if not, probably another year to go. We never know. But still, yes, the academy is still active. Do visit my website, dr-deepa.com, and under that is academy. And yes, I still run all the diploma courses, all the workshops online and in person. So yes, I do all of that too. So that's the other bit that I wanted to talk about. And you will see more about the academy this year. I will be promoting more of it rather than just Ayurveda as a science, but also about the learning side of it too. That now the other important thing is 2026. So what is the trend for 2026? The most important health trend in 2026 is going to be, it is all about personalized healthcare and longevity. Do understand that the word longevity will be repeated many, many, many times. But it's weird because both personalized healthcare and longevity, they both find their roots and their origins in Ayurveda. Because as you know, in Ayurveda, we always talk about living our life based on our body types, constitution, like our Prakriti, Vikriti, or again, longevity is nothing but Rasayana, that is anti-aging for us. But these two will be the most prevalent health trends in 2026. But as my mom always used to say, Deepa, don't be sheep, don't be cattle, don't be herd, don't be those kind of people who are running in that same direction because they see everyone running in that direction. She would always say, be a lioness, be a tigress, make your own path and be confident in what you do, because that is what you were born to do. Because back in India, I come from a Kshatriya or the warrior clan family. And growing up, I remember my mom made sure that we understood the whole kind of science and understanding of sword fighting, horse riding and archery. These were the three things that are inherent to us. So she made sure that we had it in our brains. So likewise, the two things that I am going to be focusing on this coming year is, these are two complete opposite kind of elements, but in reality, they both are connected. And these two different things that I will be focusing, not just on myself, but even to help people, or be through courses or online kind of, engagement and everything, is first of all, mental health. And the complete opposite is weight loss. I know weight loss is something that anyone and everyone talks about. You see all these Instagram kind of posts and accounts saying, do this 100 times every day, and in the next week, 10 days, whatever, you'll see a big weight loss. It's amazing as to how people just watch it, save it, share it, and start doing it without thinking that, is this really helpful for me or not, or does this really suit me or not? So anyway, so the two things that I'm going to be focusing on in 2026 for everyone is mental health and weight loss, but understanding the connection between our mental health well-being and weight loss. Because when I talk about weight loss, it is just not an element of vanity or being vain or being materialistic or being external. The way we hold weight in the body actually talks a lot about our mental health status. Talking about this, I'm just going to quickly say this now, that yes, when people gain weight, they usually gain weight around the abdominal region or the hips, buttocks, or sometimes arms. But from the point of view of health and kind of health benefits, make sure that if you ever see weight gain in this, we say epigastric region, this upper part of the tummy, just before the diaphragm, if that is where you start seeing weight gain, please take that as an alarm bell sign that something is happening in the body which may lead to long-term health illnesses, imbalances, or something like that. So if you ever see any kind of epigastric weight gain, we say epigastric because that is where it is, in the upper part of the tummy. Start working on losing weight over there. Forget about your lower tummy, forget about your hips, forget about your boobs, forget about your arms. Get rid of that weight that you have in that upper tummy region, because that is where, according to Ayurveda, our stomach or even our digestive fire is located. And weight gain over there indicates that your digestive fire or Agni is getting weak, or Ama may start forming. But even when you look at it from an Ayurvedic point of view, when people have epigastric weight gain or that upper part of the tummy weight gain, there is a tendency, not always, but there may be a tendency in the future for some kind of autoimmune imbalance or immune system related imbalances or changes. So focus on the upper part of the tummy. So that is one thing in terms of weight gain, just quickly. But yes, 2026 for me is going to be a year of mental health or mental well-being, making sure that anyone with any kind of mental health imbalances, illnesses, to help them with that, but also weight loss. So those are going to be my two main focuses for this year. And now, talking about this year, let's take it one more step forward. in terms of, you may have seen that, as I said earlier, come 1st of January, the whole of social media was bombarded with all these AI, artificial intelligence, created all these videos and so many different things. So from that point of view, do understand that the more AI becomes more active or dominant, we as human beings, we are going to become more and more isolated. So one other thing also in this 2026, and from there taking it forward, try to focus on what I say is that sense of community. The reason why I say that is because we as human beings, we are creatures of community. That is who we are. We can't live alone. We can't live an isolated life. We need someone to talk to. That is the reason why we have these 5 sensory functions, because these 5 sensory functions help us manifest, if you want to call it, or even express our emotions and to be able to talk and get it out. If I feel really stressed, angry, grieving, sad, tired, I want someone who I can talk to it about too. If I don't get that person or that individual, over here probably my son, my best friends I'm very fortunate. I have got literally, I would say handful, but very few people that I talk to and I can be myself with. And I'm very fortunate about that. But when we are isolated, those emotions get internalized. So going back to when I talked about mental health, well-being and weight gain, for you to understand why I'm focusing on those two is because when our emotions get internalized, or those emotions that we need to express out, then of course, then that'll go up to my brain, to my thought processes. I will start thinking too much about it. It becomes like that box where you put a stone in there, and when I keep moving it, it creates more sound. But if it had an opening and if I move that box, the stone would fall out and there would be no sound in there. Meaning that closed box with that tin box with that stone in there creates more sound when the box is open, where the stone can fall out. So that is the element of our emotions. So when that happens, it'll go up to my thought processes, and then that will create any kind of mental health illnesses, imbalances. I might get even more stressed, more frustrated, more depressed, anxious, nervous, and that may then affect my physical well-being. And do understand that in Ayurveda, we believe that if we do not get another human being to express our emotions out to, or someone who we can't kind of show our concern, or if we don't get love or concern from that another human being, we are looking for that love through food. That's the reason why you will see that when we are stressed, we are eating food. When we are happy also, we are eating food, because like, oh yes, let's go out, celebrate. When we are angry, the first point for us to kind of pacify that anger is still food. When we are kind of frustrated, stressed, any emotions, our first point of contact, when we don't have another human being to show us that love and concern, is food, to find that love through food. And that's the reason why mental health illnesses ultimately lead to weight gain. And people do not understand that importance. Yes, people do say, oh, come on, how come you're gaining weight? Just go out, walk or exercise. It is not easy, because when we're going through those emotional changes, the way it affects us, we cannot really translate that into our body to make it feel better. So yes, as I was saying earlier, we are creatures of community. So through the advent of AI, really kind of from being 0% is going to rise up to 80, 90, 100%. Make sure that you are still in contact with that human beings, your friends, family, anyone, your partners, boyfriends, girlfriends, all of that, because that will be needed. So from that point of view, one other thing for you to take away, if you can do it in this year and start off, is creating that feeling of community. And one other thing for me that I'm going to be doing is, of course, in this year, I'm planning to do a few networking events. Of course, it is more for Ayurvedic practitioners, yoga teachers, my students. So I usually call it open evenings. So I'm going to be doing that this year, at least 2 or 3, to help bring people together. But then not everyone may be able to come in person, and therefore the focus is also online community feeling, the groups, the way now, literally today I've started the 10-day New Year, New You online detox. Yeah, there are 25 people, thank God, who have joined in for it. And I've created small groups of 5-6 people each, because I do not want them to feel inundated with many messages. So that is my one way of taking that forward, of that feeling of community. So that is the other bit also, even for yourself to think about, that going forward, make sure that you have that communication with others. If you're a practitioner, make sure that all your clients, they have that essence and element of communication, community. That bit is very important too. Sorry, I need to turn around because I need to look at the time, because as you know, I do talk a lot and I don't have a watch over here or clock over here. And now the last bit and the most exciting one now is, if you want to call it 4 or 5 things to take away, to do in this year of 2026. This is what I will be focusing on for myself. But again, this is something for you to focus on as you continue this year of 2026. It's hard to believe that we are already 4th of January 2026. Time is going to fly. So we need to take that step back and make time and space for us. So again, anyway, so 5 things, 5 tips for 2026. First of all, I'm just going to say the word ghee. I know we all know ghee. Clarified butter is what we call it. And you might be thinking, why she's saying that? Do understand that, the reason why I also say that is because I've been having conversations with a lot of people. And if you look into all online things, people talk about natural ways of taking collagen or marine collagen, beef collagen, chicken collagen, whatever. Collagen is the trendy word nowadays. But also to understand that not all types of collagen suit everyone. But the one type that I'm sure will suit many of us, especially if you were to follow Ayurveda, is ghee. Do understand the way ghee as a substance is. It very closely relates to our cerebrospinal fluid or our synovial fluid, our peritoneal fluid. There are these fluids in the body that help us to keep us more lubricated and more nourished. And ghee has got that quality. It literally almost mimics that, even up to the point that when you look into ghee, it is also very close to, if you want to call it plasma, which is a part of our blood. So it kind of goes hand in hand with that. So make ghee your best friend in 2026. You can take it in any way, form possible. Just have a spoonful first thing in the morning, followed with a glass of warm water. The way I do it, I actually mix it with turmeric. So as you all know, I've come up with this product called as golden ghee. So I make or prepare, manufacture turmeric ghee, that is ghee with turmeric, and I'm selling it nowadays, and a lot of people have been buying it, so thank you for that. But then yes, ghee, or put it in your cooking, literally apply it around your eyes, apply it to your face, put it in your scalp, put it in your nails, literally in your nail bed. If you think that your nails are getting brittle, just apply it over there. Take ghee in any way or form possible, because as I said earlier, the thing in going forward that is going to become more prevalent is Alzheimer's, memory loss, dementia, but through that is also illnesses like multiple sclerosis, Parkinson's. And ghee, which is such an easy ingredient that we can make at home, is actually one of the secret hero ingredients or treatments or even remedies to help prevent all of that. So if you want to have focused mind, focused brain, I know earlier someone asked me, what is the beauty of secret of my beauty, my hair, skin, all of that. It is ghee. Every morning I have 1 or 2 teaspoonfuls of ghee followed with a big glass of warm water. That is my thing every morning. So that is one thing. So take ghee both internally or externally, any way or form that you can, to actually see the change. So that is number 1 for 2026, tips. The other one, I know you'll be like, Dr. Deepa, where are you coming up with these words? But the other thing to focus on is eyes, literally eyes. Why? When I say eyes, it's just not about vision. Do understand, eyes just don't help us with vision to see, read, look at colors. For us, eyes are one of those 5 sensory functions that actually help us with communication. Eyes help us with our visual memories. Eyes also help create visual experiences. Eyes actually help us in many different ways and forms. So focus on eyes. But then how and why? Understand. I know I keep saying it all the time. Probably you're even kind of tired of listening to it. But do understand, our eyes are nothing but an extension of our brain through the optic nerve. Yes, in a modern world, we always say, yes, our eyes are the window to our soul. In Ayurveda, that is just not a philosophical term or saying or proverb. It really is. It really is. So whatever that is happening in the brain in the spinal cord, in the whole body. You can actually see it through your eyes, or if you want to bring those changes in the whole body, work through your eyes. So something as simple as literally eye exercises every day. And let me write it down, because I will share all of these, because I've got all of these as links. I will share all of these on my stories. But if you can, eye exercises every day. And even when I say eye exercise, just not about looking up and down, round and round quickly. Take time, literally first looking up and down 10 times, taking time, then looking side to side, at least 10 repetitions. And to make it easy, I usually say look anti-clockwise 10 repetitions, clockwise 10 repetitions. By this time, I can guarantee you your eyes will start hurting, but it is good, because your eye muscles have become so tired that even when you move your eyes a bit, the muscles feel it. But the most important thing, and this is what I tell everyone we have stopped doing nowadays, is looking as further away as possible. Stood over here, I've got this big window in front of me, and I can see these really huge trees quite far away, not even like 100 meters, 200, at least 300 meters away. So looking as far away as possible, and then looking at the tip of your nose. So you're doing far side and near side, 10 repetitions. The reason why this is because by doing this, you're actually stimulating your brain. You are making, or you are actually activating those parts of the brain that have been dormant for a very long time. And I'm just going to show you my phone cover, because my phone is there. You will see that the only vision that we have is from my eyes to my phone. That is it. 80% of the day, that is how we are spending. Literally, I don't know, maybe 50 centimeters away, not even centimeters, probably maybe 1.5 feet away, and that is it. But we as human beings, we were not born to see only this distance. We actually were born, and our physiology is such where we are supposed to look really far away too. And it's amazing, because every time I do a consultation, everyone tells me the same thing. My eyesight is getting blurry. I can't see properly. And I tell them, yes, of course, it is natural, because you never look far away. All that you do is just look into that little phone that you have in front of you. So eyes, focus on eyes to help bring changes in the body. It can be eye exercising, applying ghee into the eyes is also really good. But then along with that, taking certain herbs. There can be oils and many different things that you can do for eye health, but focus on eyes. Now, the third thing for 2026 as a tip is focus on your joints. Literally, I've literally got all those terms written down over there. First is ghee, then is eyes, now is joints. Why joints in Ayurveda? Remember, all joints that we have, they are marma points, they are energy points. We do not realize, but it is in our joints that we are accumulating or holding all our emotions, all the heat, all the toxins, all the inflammation. And because we are holding it in the joints, I usually say that joints which are like marma points, they are like roundabouts. I know out here in UK we have roundabouts. I don't know if you have it anywhere else or not, but literally like roundabouts. When a car gets kind of broken down in that roundabout, or let's say even at a crossroad where you've got traffic lights, if a car gets broken down at the crossroad, traffic stops everywhere. That is how our joints are. If energy gets blocked over there, or if there is inflammation in the joints or anything like that, it affects our whole body. So now when I talk about joints, it's very easy. The thing that you can do every now and then is joint movement, joint exercise. So if it is my wrist, I'll be moving my wrist up and down, then circular in one direction, circular opposite direction, then elbow joints, shoulder joints, ankle joints, literally all joints in the body. Bring movement into your joints so that all the heat is eliminated, all the inflammation is removed, all the emotions are also eliminated. So if there are any Ayurvedic practitioners, therapists listening to me right now, if you find, or not find, if you get clients with mental health imbalances, yes, you'll ask them to do meditation, you'll ask them to do breathing. All of those will work only in the long term. To start seeing quick changes now, from now itself, is ask them to do joint movement and joint exercises, because through that you are releasing emotions ASAP. So joint exercise, joint movements. I have swelling in my wrists and fingers. Even bending my fingers is difficult. Yes, so that shows that you need to work on the wrists and fingers as much as you can. Joint exercises, and you can also do some massage if you want to. Now, the fourth one that I have over here, and I keep talking about it all the time, is writing. I know. Writing is the way forward. Literally, and I'm just going to show you my little notebook. I love writing. You will see that every time I carry my notebooks everywhere, whatever that I want to write, I usually write down, and even if it is a tiny book. Even though I go out, I know my friends know about it, I carry a bag. For example, on New Year's Eve, I was out with my best friend, her partner, and my another best friend. And even though I had a small bag, I still had a little notebook and a pen in that. And one of my friends that night, she's like, "Oh, Deepa, you're funny. You carry that even when you're out clubbing." I was like, yes, I do, because that is my inherent belief and trust in Ayurveda. I need to have that with me. So writing down for 15-20 minutes every day. It can be anything, like literally thinking out aloud on paper. So make that your kind of to-do or to go to every day, every 2-3 days, as and when you can. So that's the fourth one. Love the connection between joints and mental health. Yes, absolutely, because it is a big connection over there. People don't see it. So that is what I usually tell people. No, we all live here in UK. I know, Amina, you also live here in London. I talk about, remember that M1 example, that main motorway, everyone's going up, but I'm thinking about these other side roads to kind of bypass all the traffic on the main road so that I get onto the other side ASAP. And yes, the last bit now is taking space and time for yourself. So when I say taking space and time for yourself, it is going to become such a fast-paced world. As I said earlier, that it is already 4th of January now. Before you know, it's going to be 15th, it's going to be 26th, it'll be March, April, because time is going by so fast. I know we have 101 things to do every day, but please, just take 30 minutes for yourself, 15 minutes for yourself, 40 minutes for yourself, 1 hour for yourself. But when I say take time for yourself, I don't mean sit there and start writing things. No, literally sit there, stare into space. Just do that for me. Look out there into nature. Yes, you can go for a walk and everything, but I want you to be sat in one place. You can sit in your meditative pose, sit on a chair, sit on a sofa, but literally look into nothingness. That is what we say in yoga, because you need to create that element of, in a way, inertia. I know when you use the term inertia, it may come across as negative, but in today's environment, we need that. You need that complete blank mind for at least 15-20 minutes, 30 minutes, because it's only when your mind may go blank, like literally daydreaming, then the brain starts producing certain hormones that is then helping to look after itself. When you are always on that reactive mode, having to kind of firefight all the time, our poor brain is getting so tired that it says, you know what, I need a bit of time for myself. So take that time and space for yourself. Take that step back and literally look into, I know I have that kapha in me. You all know I'm a tridoshik personality, but the kapha side of me can easily sit in one place for 30 minutes, 40 minutes and not do anything. But yes, life gets busy, but try and do that, because that will help you so much with your energy levels on a daily basis. So those are the 5 different things. So first of all is ghee, then there is eyes, then there is joints, then there is writing and taking time and space for yourself. So try and focus on these 5 different things. I usually say this 5 different things for the 5 days of the week: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Saturday, Sunday is your day. Do whatever you want to, but at least for those 5 days, do these 5 things. Even if you're doing just one thing on each day, that is also fine, because over time, ultimately, it will become a habit. So those are the 5 different tips for 2026. I know some of you have asked some questions. I'm just going to go through it. What oil for massage? Just to let you know, you can use any. For that, best is to look into your body type, constitution or imbalance, and choose Ayurvedic oils accordingly. But based on what you're saying, we have something called as Mahanarayan oil that will really help for the joint swelling. Then someone asked how to release anger and grudge if we have against someone who is close with us. See, that is where writing down really helps, literally thinking aloud on paper of how you feel about that person. But do understand there is nothing better than sitting and having that honest, open conversation with that person, even though you may be angry, but telling them, you know what, this is how I honestly feel about the situation. The reason, do understand that when we are angry at someone, we are never really angry at that person. We are angry at the actions of that person or that situation, which, whatever that scenario, that event, or whatever in which that person may have done something that led to that anger. You can never really directly be angry towards a person. It is always their actions. So even when you have that conversation, tell them that it is not you, but it is this action of yours that made me angry for what you've done. Because if you put it in those words, when people understand, saying, oh yes, you know, this person not really angry at me, but for what I have done, that means I can rectify that. The more you openly have such conversations, the more easily you will be able to get rid of those emotions also. Then there's a question, does journaling work and come as writing? As in when you write about your day at the night? Yes. See, do understand, does journaling work and come as writing? See, when I say writing, yes, the pretty word nowadays is journaling, but for me, I use the word writing on paper. Pen on paper is because you're thinking aloud. You're putting all your emotions on paper. The reason why I say writing is because nowadays we don't always get someone to talk to, and hence at least writing helps. But then when we write pen on paper, I'm using my motor functions, I'm using my five sensory functions. It is a coordination between my motor and my five sensory functions that actually also helps to release all the emotions. And it also helps with anti-aging or longevity. As I said earlier, mental health, longevity, anti-aging. My son is looking at me saying he needs to go somewhere. So yeah, that's okay. Okay, so yes, you can do it at night too. That is absolutely fine. And sorry, I think there was one more question. Does journaling, I've done that. Can you please repeat again? Eyes, ghee, joints, writing, and making time and space. Literally, when I say making time and space, just sit in a corner looking into, I would say, nature. 15-20 minutes all for yourself. Okay, so I think I've answered all the questions, and I need to keep an, oh yeah, it's already, I've talked for 45 minutes, so I definitely am going to let it go now. But then one other thing that I will be telling you now itself, I want to make my first live chat of 2026 on a Sunday. I could have done on the 1st also, but I wanted it to be today because my aim now is on every Sunday, 10 a.m., fingers crossed. I will be doing a live chat every Sunday, 10 o'clock. It might be a very short one, maybe a long one. It might be topics that you're interested in. So if you have anything that you want me to talk about, do message me and I will make sure that I will create live chats and information on that for you. Okay, so that is for now. And I think I've answered all questions. Can you please share anti-aging tips? Yes, so if that is what you want, then next Sunday, make sure you're here. And I'm just writing it down. I will share not many, but the most important anti-aging or longevity tips, because that's the word that they use nowadays, longevity. But I'm Ayurvedic, so I'm anti-aging next Sunday. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you, Sakina. It's nice to see you here after a very long time. And thank you, Malvi. And I still need to message you. I shall do that soon. And yeah, is mental health limited linked to aging? Absolutely. When you have got mental health illnesses and diseases, that will actually shorten your age big time. So yeah. Okay, so I shall be in touch with you soon. I need to go, and I'm sure even you need to, and I will be in touch soon. Take care. Bye.